At one point, IQ drew a foul with like 2 seconds on the shot clock, and they talking about he wasn't in the act of shooting. So then what was he in the act of doing? Was he trying to pass the ball with 1 second left? He was trying to go up and shoot from free throw. And they talking about, no, it's not a foul. I'm like, all right, it's going to be that type of game. At least we know. At least we can see your true colors. Hey, what's going on? Quis here from Sports Vibes TV. And in this video, I just want to give my thoughts on the Knicks 106-102 victory. Now, I know I've been giving RJ a hard time when it comes to his shooting, but in this game, he pretty much told me to shut the hell up because he went out there and he was efficient. Homie went 8 of 15 from the field, right? 4 or 5 from 3, and he also went 5 or 6 from the free throw line. Now, you know, if you want to nitpick, you could be like, bro, make all your free throws, but you really can't be mad at him, especially having this breakout game coming off that shooting slump. So big shout out to RJ Barrett. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he was able to get some of them demons off his shoulder. Happy that the pundits ain't going to be able to really bash him after this game. Also, I want to give a shout out to Julius Randle because Julius Randle did not have the best first half. You know, he was having a lot of trouble offensively in the first half, but he persevered. He didn't let the troubles he was having on offense pretty much take away from his defensive intensity. And, you know, even on the offensive side, he was still moving the ball. He had a lot of turnovers, which is starting to be a problem to me. He can't continue to turn the ball over at this rate. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and hope that the turnover problem is going to calm down once he gets a little bit more, you know, familiarity with his teammates. I mean, Austin Rivers was on the post game saying he hasn't even practiced with the team. So you can understand when the play is a little bit sloppy, but hopefully the coaching and, you know, them working on their chemistry as a team is going to help negate some of those problems or erase some of those problems. Also, I mentioned Rivers. Rivers had a great game. If I'm not mistaken, he had 15 points. And I got to see what I wanted in this game. I wanted to see IQ and Rivers share the court. And when they shared the court, you know, the defenses, they really had a tough choice to make. There were 2 plays. I don't know if it was back-to-back, but they were very close in chronological order. It was a play where IQ was open, and you saw the defender have to make a tough decision. Do I stay with IQ, or do I have to go over and rotate to cover Austin Rivers? The defender was stuck between a rock and a hard place. And the defender decided to stick with IQ in both of those plays, and Rivers had a wide open shot. He missed both of those times, but you're going to expect him to start knocking those down more consistently. And over time, I'm going to say I like Rivers shooting wide open threes. So if you can get me that shot every possession, I'm not well. Let me rephrase that. I don't want Austin Rivers shooting a 3-pointer every single possession. But if that's how the possession ends, I'm not going to be upset with it. A wide open 3-pointer is from Austin Rivers is a lot better than, say, a wide open 3-pointer from a Julius Randle. Even though he was knocking his shots, I just got more faith in Austin Rivers as a 3-pointer. So to see those two share the backcourt and actually have some chemistry. Also, Austin Rivers was able to find IQ on one of his 3-pointers. So the two clearly work well off of each other. And if we can see that tandem get a little bit more time on the court, I know a lot of y'all was saying IQ, it's too early for him to thrust him into that starting lineup. So if that's the case, I want to see Austin Rivers in the starting lineup. Austin Rivers is a more veteran guard. Even though we saw IQ still have the savvy of a veteran, the refs weren't giving us any calls out there. It was like we were going 5 versus 8 because time and time again, IQ would draw a defender in and get the foul, and they were saying it wasn't in the act of shooting. At one point, IQ drew a foul with like 2 seconds on the shot clock, and they talking about he wasn't in the act of shooting. So then what was he in the act of doing? Was he trying to pass the ball with 1 second left? He was trying to go up and shoot from free throw. And they talking about, no, it's not a foul. I'm like, all right, it's going to be that type of game. At least we know. At least we can see your true colors. Because time and time again, the Knicks were getting fouled and they weren't necessarily calling it. RJ was getting killed a few times. They weren't calling fouls on him, but he didn't let that get to him. He was still attacking with aggression. And we saw the Knicks overcome adversity. There was times in the third quarter where things got a little bit stagnant, and we had Elfrid Payton actually get us some buckets in the paint. So this was a well-rounded, a well-played game from the entire roster. And, you know, let me not say the entire roster because Kevin Knox didn't have the greatest game. But Mitchell Robinson was out there looking like a problem as well. The discrepancy when it comes to interior points was ridiculous. Robinson was in the paint killing. And then on the opposite end, he was making sure that he was securing rebounds, wasn't allowing second chance points, and he was making things very difficult for them trying to score in the paint. Most of their damage came from Malcolm Brogdon from three. And, you know, you can give Elfrid Payton a hard time, not necessarily getting over the screens and staying in front of Brogdon. But I'm going to be positive when it comes to this game. I was happy watching the Knicks. I liked what I saw both from the veterans and from some of these core pieces. Knox is going to have to get it together, but we'll work on that. It's going to be one step at a time. If we can get these veterans right, and then we can also see players like Quickly, Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett take steps, and then we can look further on down the bench. We can look at a Kevin Knox and we can say, all right, how are we going to get you right so you can start contributing consistently to the team? So, you know, I just want to know what you guys thought about the game. I couldn't be happier with the performance. Yes, there were a lot of turnovers. This game, we probably should have won this by a lot more points than it ended up being at the final score. But to see Randle struggle in the first half, to see the team pick him up and continue to support him and make sure they were able to keep the game close, and then for Randle to turn it on in that fourth quarter and help the team pull away was amazing to see as a Knicks fan. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Once again, I'm Quis, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out. Stress.